So, you probably heard of the International Baccalaureate, right? The IB. But have you ever stopped to think what it's really trying to do? I mean, it's way more than just a curriculum or a bunch of classes. It's actually a mission to build a certain kind of person. Today, we're going to dig into the very heart of that mission, the IB learner profile. Let's get right to it.
This right here, this is the core of it all. This single sentence is the why behind everything the IB does. And, this isn't just some fancy educational jargon on a website. It's a genuinely aspirational goal. The entire system is built on this powerful belief that education can be a real force for good in the world by shaping people who actively go out and build a better one.
And that's the big question, isn't it? If that's the end goal, a better, more peaceful world, then who is the person that gets us there? What do they need to be like? Well, the IB has a surprisingly specific answer.
It all starts with this mission to cultivate what they call internationally minded people. Now, what that really means is fostering individuals who can see beyond borders, who recognize our shared humanity, and who feel a real sense of responsibility for taking care of the planet. The whole philosophy is built on the idea that if you want to solve huge global problems, you first have to develop the people who are going to be taking on those challenges.
Okay, so how do you actually do that? How do you build that kind of person? Well, the IB's answer is a detailed blueprint, and it's called the learner profile. And this is not just a wish list of nice personality traits, it's a set of 10 very concrete attributes that are actively woven into every single part of the IB experience.
That's right, there are 10 of them, 10 key attributes that the IB believes are absolutely essential for becoming a responsible member of any community, whether that's your local neighborhood or the entire global community. Let's just zoom in on a couple to get a feel for what they actually look like. First up, IB learners strive to be inquirers. This is all about feeding that natural curiosity we all have. It's about developing the skills you need to do research, to ask great questions, and to learn how to learn, not just with a teacher, but on your own, too. The whole idea is to keep that fire for learning alive for your entire life.
Next, they are caring. This one's huge. It means showing real empathy, compassion, and respect for others. It means having a genuine commitment to service and trying to act in a way that makes a positive difference, not just for you, but in the lives of other people and in the world around you.
And they're also risk takers. Now hold on, this doesn't mean being reckless, not at all. It's about approaching new situations and all that uncertainty life throws at you with both courage and careful thought. It's about being resourceful and resilient when you're up against a new challenge.
And here's the whole shebang, all 10 of them together. Inquirers, knowledgeable, thinkers, communicators, principled, open-minded, caring, risk-takers, balanced, and reflective. When you see them all laid out like this, you can really tell they're not just separate traits. They're designed to work together, to build on each other, to create this complete picture of an engaged, thoughtful global citizen.
Okay, so we've got the what, those 10 attributes. But the really interesting question is how? How does an IB education actually grow these qualities in a student day-to-day? It's definitely not about just memorizing facts for a test. It's about participating in a really dynamic, hands-on process.
This visual here, it perfectly captures the engine that drives it all. This is what's known as the inquiry cycle, and you can see it's a constant loop. These three parts, inquiry, action, and reflection, are the absolute bedrock of how learning actually happens in an IB school.
So let's break that down. It all kicks off with inquiry, where students are pushed to ask questions, to explore, to dig deeper. That naturally leads to action, where they take what they've learned and apply it to do something meaningful, something that matters in their community. And then it comes to maybe the most important step, reflection. That's where you step back and make sense of it all. What did I learn, and what impact did my actions have on me and on others? And of course, that reflection sparks brand new questions, and bam, the cycle starts all over again.
All right, time for the final piece of the puzzle. Let's connect the what, that learner profile, with the how, that cycle of learning we just talked about. This is where it all really clicks.
I love this slide because it just lays it all out so clearly. Look at this table. The process of inquiry is what directly builds students who are inquirers and thinkers. Taking meaningful action, that's how you become caring and principled. And that crucial step of thoughtful reflection, that's what develops people who are reflective and open-minded. It's a direct cause and effect. The learning process itself forges these attributes.
So here's the key takeaway, the bottom line.
The process builds the person. That IB learner profile isn't just a poster of ideals you hang on a classroom wall. It is the direct outcome of being in that continuous cycle of inquiring, acting, and reflecting. One simply doesn't exist without the other. This whole dynamic system is the practical nuts and bolts method for shaping that well-rounded person we talked about at the very beginning.
And that leads me to one last thought I want to leave with you. As you look back at these 10 attributes, from being an inquirer to being balanced to being reflective, which one of them really resonates with you? Which one do you value most in your own life? Or which one do you think the world needs a whole lot more of right now? Because ultimately, this isn't just a blueprint for students. It's a pretty powerful model for how any of us can keep learning and growing for our entire lives.